What do I want to do? Join audio? What am I supposed to do? I don't know what to do. Computer's connected. Yes.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
It's crazy. I just picked my daughter up from her band event, so I just got home. So I'm like, oh my goodness.
I'm going to wait about like 5 minutes before I start to see who's going to hop on.
Oh, my computer's not working. There we go.
Oh, no.
Can you see me?
No, I can't see anyone's faces.
I wonder if I did something wrong.
Oh, I can't see anyone's faces either.
Oh, wait.
there
There,
we go. Ooh, that looks rough. It is 9 o'clock at night, I guess, right?
Yeah, I'm like in PJs. Who is 302 300 7901?
who called in?
Yay!
Hi, Jenna.
It's like super weird. It never wants to start my video and audio when I first log on. I'm like,
Oh, that's probably a setting from a Zoom setting.
how do I fix it?
I think it's the, what is that noise? Do you guys hear that? Hold on. My phone might be doing something. What's that? Do you guys hear music or is that just mine?
No, it sounds like do 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 do.
Yeah, what is that? Wow, that's fun. That was so funny. What is that song? That's like,
It's from
It's
like all the movies with races and stuff.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun,
Like
dun.
when they're training and running in slow-mo.
oh my gosh, that's hysterical. Wait, what is this? How funny. It's like, where is it coming from?
Oh.
All right, let's just go ahead and get started. I think 'cause I'm already sleepy.
Okay. Okay, I'm just going to make sure all my tabs are closed because I hope that music coming for me.
That is so funny.
I don't
No?
hear the music anymore.
Yeah, I don't hear it.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, how funny. That's how we should start every call.
Definitely.
Okay, so we want to get started?
Yeah.
Okay. Has everybody watched all of the Craig Holiday videos?
Not all of them.
Not all of them. Okay. Which ones do you still need to watch?
Like 3, no. I've watched the leadership one and then week 5 and week 6.
Okay.
So I don't know what was
So like the
before.
beginning one, time management, and then probably the leadership. Does that
Yes.
sound familiar?
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody else has watched them all? Okay. Because he really just, especially that last call, he was just really getting into like what a leader does and how to lead your team and, you know, what to give them and what to expect. And I just was kind of blown away. There were things that I never really even thought about. But the biggest takeaway that I got from it, that he said, leaders are waterers of people. So you have your coaches and your challengers, but they're really not going to go very far. They're not going to do anything unless you're watering them and helping them grow. So how do we do that? He covers a lot, but I think one of the biggest things is helping them find their vision. At Summit, I think it was, who was it? Sarah Pullman and Christina Solons did a talk about leadership, and they were saying that some people just won't have the belief until they have success. So it's your job to visualize the success for them and to help them just kind of, see where it could go. And I think that was a big thing with me starting out. Of course, we all have Katie, so it's kind of easier to see like what can come if you really work hard and, put your time into it. But I think a lot of people give up because when they don't see immediate success, they can't visualize, they can't see the big picture. So you have the power to change, and through that, the power to change others. So he was saying in one of the first calls about having the power to change, being willing to accept the things that you're not good at and knowing what you can do to make it better. So that's what we have to do for our coaches and challengers too. They have to know that change has to happen for them to have any type of success. So I think we do, what?
I don't want to interrupt your train of thought, but I just thought it was like so timely that today I've been listening or re-listening to that Jim Rohn. I don't know if you guys saw that I posted in the Income Surge, but it's like one of my favorite audios. I used to listen to it all the time when I did PNGX, and I'm kind of like rediscovering and re-falling in love with it. But I thought it was so timely because today he was talking about, I'm paraphrasing, of course, because he says it way better, and I was driving, so I couldn't take notes at the time. But he said to have vision first, and then success will follow that. So like your bank account will follow your vision. And I've heard a quote before, and I can't remember if it was Jim Rohn that said this, but he kind of said something like it on the call where he was like, your vision has to be big enough to pull you towards success. And when it is that big, then it helps you push through the challenges. And I think from what I've seen, like not everybody has, I feel like I had a financial necessity to do well. And not a lot of people know my background. I don't talk about it too much because my parents are still together and I have a good relationship with them. But I grew up in a very volatile household, like abuse, physical, emotional, mental stuff going on. So I felt like that on top of needing the financial, where I was stuck in my job, I was like, I have to do something to change this pattern from where I come from. But not everyone has that. So I think, Julie, you hit right on it when you said helping them develop that vision or that need. Because if you don't need to make $1 million, if you don't have this desire to like open an orphanage in Africa where you need $1 million to do it because that's like the dream that God put in your heart, then you're not going to earn $1 million. Like if you don't have to do it, people are fundamentally lazy where they're not going to do it. And not everyone's dream is to earn $1 million, but even if it's like, okay, I can stay in my job, I can stay comfortable, I can stay 10 pounds overweight because I can cover that with clothes and it's not a big deal, and I could like live paycheck to paycheck. Unless they have something that's going to pull them towards success that is so emotionally charged, at the end of the day, they're just going to give up anytime they come up against an obstacle. And I think that's like one of the unique things about being a coach is to really help somebody uncover what it is that's going to push them past any roadblock that might come in the way. And I wish I could remember the quote about like roadblocks where it's like, like when somebody has an obstacle and that it's coming up, instead of thinking of it as something that's like, here's this immovable object in front of me, like becoming resourceful enough or strong enough or developing whatever skill to go over the roadblock, to go around it, to go through it, you know, like getting a little bit more creative with, instead of it's like, oh, I'm up against defeat and now that's done. So anyway, just I thought it was so funny that he talked about that, or I listened to that today, because I was like, wow, that's like exactly, you know, what we need to help our coaches. And then just this whole other MLM thing, it's like, what's going to keep them in a business that is promoting health and wellness and like wonderful, has like this amazing message, versus jumping ship to go to what could be perceived as like easy money or fast money. Like, how do we get them reconnected with the message, what it means to their community and family as a whole, and then what it means especially to themselves, you know?
Right.
So anyway, I hope that didn't take you too off track of what you were thinking.
No, I mean, and just to add to that a little bit, I mean, I feel like, I don't want to knock any other MLMs, but when you're just selling something, I feel like it is kind of cheap. You know, it's hard to get people to see a vision besides just money. Like, we help people. And not only that, even if I didn't help anyone else, like, I'd still be a coach for the discount, because I'm still going to continue this for the rest of my life because it helped me. So I believe in it. And that's, I think it's kind of hard to believe in lip gloss. You know, it's hard to believe in leggings and what it does for your life. Like, they're real soft, they're nice, but so I think we have an advantage there. But back to helping people with their vision, back at Summit, they were saying that you really need to help them develop a roadmap. So like, once they get a clear vision of what they want, and like you said, Katie, you know, some people don't want to make $1 million, but maybe they have like a real deep need to help their family out. Maybe they're a stay-at-home mom and they feel like they don't contribute, and they just really want to contribute to their family. And it could be something little, but whatever the vision is, you have to give them the roadmap and the steps to get there. Yep. Yeah, I mean, I've helped myself, but that's kind of where the success comes from, right, Jenna? Like, when, I mean, I wasn't ever going to coach. Like, when I signed up, I was like, I'll get the discount, but I am never going to sell anything ever. And then people just started asking me what I did. And I was like, hey, Ashley, people want to know how to get this. What's that link again? And she was like, oh my gosh, you can get commission, like, use your own links. And I was like, oh, okay. And then that, once you can help people, and then once you kind of see that money coming in, it's addictive and you want to do more. Which I talked, Katie, when we talked on the phone, we were kind of talking about what I used to do, and I fell off of it when I would sign new coaches up, even if it was for the discount. I would tell them, like, if you get 3 people on it, then your Shakeology is free. And that always got them kind of addicted to bringing that income in and at least getting that for free, you know, but then they were helping people and then they would move on with the business. And I stopped doing that for some reason. And I'm doing it again now, so.
Yay! I was going to say, you just reminded me of another good point that I did. And I think that this is like, had a lot to do with like why I stuck with it and was successful, is setting those incremental goals. Like you're saying, give them the roadmap, you know, and like kind of starting them out with their own physical transformation or success. I think that part of the downside to having, like, if I share my income, for example, I'm so far beyond that first year. I've been a coach for almost 6 years now. So I'm in a different mindset to even remember. But I think sometimes coaches will look at a top coach's income and they're like, okay, well, I'm at 0. So how do I get to $1 million? That seems like a huge jump. But instead to say, okay, get your first 3 people, yours is free. And then the next goal from that is, okay, how do we earn $100 a month? How do we earn your car payment this month? How do we add insurance onto that car payment? And then it graduates to mortgage, and then it can graduate to replacing incomes and, you know, kind of the more incredible things that you can do. But I think that's kind of been like lost, where they're not setting those, like, having wins basically. So they're not building that confidence, because it's like, oh, well, I only made $67 this week. It's like, oh my gosh, well, $67 is pretty good for, you know, like something that you just did to lose weight. How can we build on that if that's something you want to do? And then really connecting them with, I think what you're saying, like the advantage of our business is it is life changing. So really connecting them with the stories of those customers who they are helping. So it becomes like bigger than them. It becomes bigger than the income. It becomes like this whole other thing.
Right.
It keeps building momentum.
Well, and we can really be unique in the way that, you know, we're on our journey and the way that we coach, and that's what attracts people to us. And it is harder to be unique in something else that just sells something. So that's really something that I want to get my coaches to understand, that they don't have to be like anybody else, but people are going to be attracted to them. But even, you know, if we're having them set goals, we have to continue to set goals for ourselves and what we want, because a leader leads by example. So I can't just tell someone, oh, you want your Shakeology free, so this is what you need to do, but I'm not taking the steps to get my mortgage paid every month. Like you know, and I need to be in the trenches with them. And that's, Craig was talking about that. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but my stomach just growled so loud. It was like the loudest it's ever. He was talking about being in the trenches with them, not just telling them what to do, but saying, okay, so you want to get your Shakeology paid for, or you want to make $100 a month. This is what you need to do. Let's, you know, get together. We'll start a group, you know, a goal setting group or something. And this is what I want to do. I want to pay my mortgage every month. So these are the steps that I'm going to take to make sure that I make that. Even if it's a bigger goal, you're showing them that you still have to constantly be taking these steps and taking action. You don't just get to a certain point and sit back. Because I think when we do kind of set back, even if we're happy, even if you're making $500 a month and you're happy there, your team's not going to grow, and they're not going to get to that point, or they're just going to fall off if you're not doing anything. So you have to keep watering them, keep helping them grow. I kind of wanted to brainstorm a little bit about how we can be accountable to them. Like, I think these, like the invite surge and the income surge have been so great. Like, I love that. And I get so much more involved. Income surge especially was great, because I'm kind of like, tell me what to do and I'll do it. So when Lindsay Stay was breaking down, like when I was making this, you know, off of bonus cycles only, this is how many people I had contributing. And I'm like, okay, so this is what I want to make. This is how many people I'm going to need contributing to that. And so this is where I'm going. And I think everybody needs those steps. So what could you guys do besides these big groups? Because a couple of my newer coaches are like pretty overwhelmed by them. Well, I loved it. They were kind of like, I don't know what they're talking about. So what like on a smaller scale do you think we could do with our coaches to help them?
Well, I'll jump in real quick. Well, if you guys want to jump in, but we had I think it was called Reach for the Stars. Was anybody in that group, Reach for the Stars group? And basically it was coaches who, I believe the requirements were you were diamond and you were trying to advance to that star diamond level, because as some of you may have already figured out, diamond is not the end all be all. That's kind of like, okay, you're officially like, you know, a leader, and now to get to star diamond, that's when I really started to see the income growth. And so we developed a tracker that we felt was a little bit more advanced than just doing the business activity tracker, where you would actually look at, and Lisa, it was so great that you posted today how many friends you have. So you're actually paying attention to Facebook friends, YouTube views, how many coaches you have on your team, what is your volume like on your weak leg, your strong leg, and kind of looking at your business, you know, because they always say, if you ever watched Marcus Lamone on CNBC, he was talking about, if you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. And I think we have a really unique business in the fact that we don't handle product. We don't worry about shipping. We don't worry about, you know, I mean, we worry about customer service, but we're only involved so much. We don't worry about acquisition costs of each customer. We basically just kind of do our thing. So a lot of those business acumen terminologies and things, like, we don't even have to think about or worry about, but we do have to worry about is growing our network, how many people we're talking to and how many people are on our team. So I thought that the tracker was great because part of that group was posting your tracker each week. And yes, there are some personalities who felt overwhelmed by that and felt like they were kind of bearing their soul and really embarrassed or whatever feelings they were feeling about posting, because it included your income, it included kind of your business as a whole. But what it did for a lot of other coaches, especially the rubies and the emerald personalities, it really gave them something to strive for. So if they said, I remember Dara Laporta and Bonnie were kind of at the same place in the business. And, you know, it was almost like a healthy competition between them, because they were like, oh, so-and-so is inching ahead. So I see that they have more in this category. So I really need to work on beefing that up, because now I see that they have more coaches. They have, one of the categories is how many PS coaches do you have with at least one Success Club point on the board. So if you start to see, okay, so-and-so's business, their income is like growing leaps and bounds above mine, and you're comparing all your numbers. Oh, our friends are the same. This is the same, this is the same. And then you're like, okay, how is their volume growing? Well, because they're teaching their coaches to get Success Clubs. So they're putting Success Club points on the board, and it's like duplicating and things like that. So I personally feel like the trackers are always something that nobody wants to do, because it's not very sexy, it's not very fun, it's a little bit tedious, it can be frustrating, but I think that's a really great way, even as a leader, to say, okay, well, here's where my business is, and, you know, kind of laying it all out on the table, and then showing them, Julie, like you were saying earlier, the activities that you're doing, and like, okay, here's the goal that I want to reach. So I know that I need to add more people to my network. I need to add more people to my team. So my goal is to add 3 to 5 new coaches this month, and here's how I'm going to kind of go about it. So that's just like the first thing, I guess, that pops in my head, as far as, you know, that was like a lengthy explanation, but just being accountable to them, and also accountable to your goals in your business, because anytime you put something out there, it's like the pressure is on to actually make some movement happen. So I just always think that's like a great way.
I remember the Reach for the Stars group, and it was like there. I mean, I was fairly new, but like Nikki Johnson was in that group, and I remember seeing hers, and I was like, oh, okay. I need to step it up. And but yeah, you look at everyone else's, and I'm like, okay, you have the same number of this, the same number of that, you know, what are they doing? And it is a good way to keep you growing, because I didn't want to keep posting my income was less than everybody else's. You know, I wanted to get up there with them, and I had some big weeks when I was doing that group, just by pushing myself a little harder. So yeah, a good little competition with your coaches, a small group like that, having them post maybe a prize. I don't know, how would you do that? We did the what was the rank advancement one?
The Rank in the Bank?
Rank in the Bank, yeah, that was a good one.
That was like, oh my gosh, this is so funny, because the pool got so big, and then it's like, oh wait, we could get in trouble. Like, we need to make sure all the money, because it was like thousands of dollars. It was like, I remember somebody had a Rank in the Bank group, not our team. I think because we split them, because it was like me, Raina, Andrea Crowder, like Nikki Minton, like there were like a bunch of us, and we had our own pools. But somebody had one, some team had one that was like $30,000 in PayPal. And at that point, they could like, PayPal can tax you, because it's like a substantial amount of money. But anyway, yeah, I think that kind of goes back to the conversation we had. I forget if it was last week, but I mean, it all comes down to like personality types.
Mhm.
So are your coaches motivated by prizes? Are they motivated by competition? And I think part of it is knowing who you are and then who you attract so that you can,
Right.
figure out what's going to motivate your team.
That was Rankin the Bank was awesome though. I made like $300-400 there, and I that's when I hit diamond. Like, so apparently competition is a big driver for me.
Money and competition.
Yes.
I remember the Rankin the Bank, and I was like so set to do it. And then my problem has always been that like I'm dependent on my team. And so I was pouring like tons and tons and tons of energy into my team and trying to get them as like, yeah, we can do this, as I was. And like it went nowhere. And then I went nowhere because I was so focused on them and like trying to get them. Because like I couldn't build anybody. And I was like, oh, well, that didn't work.
That's when it's like, okay, recruiting mission. Like, how do I find me again?
Right.
Yeah. But that's what I realized from that group was that I had lost myself, and I was like, I have to get back to it and like relook at what I'm doing, and kind of going back to what Julie was saying is like being the leader I wanted them to be. And I couldn't spend my time on them. I needed to show them like through my actions what I was doing. So, a couple of things that worked really well on my team personally. The team cup, for one, I partnered up with my Success Club partner. Lisa knows because she was on the team cup, but we had people log a screenshot of their invite and a PD takeaway every day. And I saw my downline like boom and explode because they were like being held accountable. And I was like, okay, if you log, 3 workouts and 5 Shakeologies, because the Shakeology was the invites, then we'll give you a prize at the end. And pretty much everybody that did got the Bluetooth speaker and tier 1 prize anyway. So it's like, well, that took care of that. The other thing I've been doing that my team like really likes is every Friday, I call it like Flashback Friday. And if I only knew then what I know now. And like, one thing that I've learned over my time as a coach that I'm like, shit, sorry for the word. Dang, I really wish I had known that now, like way back then, like that if I had just had that clear vision, and just sharing those. And my newest coach signed up last week and like sent me a message last night, and she was like, okay, so I'm listening to like every single like Flashback Friday, like if you only knew then what you know now, because I just want to know it all now. And like, so I've been getting a lot of really positive feedback about it, and I think they're like listening and like taking it in, even if I'm not seeing it like right away. That they're at least taking it in and absorbing it and like to learn from my mistakes.
That is so funny. I freaking love that. So do you do a video where you share, or you have everybody post?
I do a live video. I only like just started recently within the last like month or so. So every Friday I go live in the group, and when I start to see more like engagement with my coaches, I'm going to start passing it over. But I kind of assigned duties to a couple of coaches that were like really starting to run and take off. So I was like, I'm not going to post in this group every day, but I want a post in this group every day. So you're in charge of doing the national wake up call. And I want you to just post something funny on Wednesday to like build that community and have people know that they can check in, and it's not all business all the time, but this is a community and we're a team, And then I have another girl, my success partner is in my group, even though she's not on my team and whatever, and she'll post stuff once a week. So then I end up posting maybe 4 times a week. And that Friday is one of them where I'm just like, flashback.
That's
Wish
awesome.
I knew this. Yeah.
Who's your success partner again? I don't remember.
Sydney Gallion. So she's under Brittany Leggett.
Oh, good. Brittany's coaches are always good to pair up with because they're a little bit more like structured usually.
Well, she's not like Brittany's personally sponsored coach. I guess she's like it's
down
somebody else, but she's in her downline. So she's got one person in between her and Brittany.
How did you connect with her? Like on a trip?
We actually met on the plane to Summit back in 2015.
That's awesome.
And she lives out in San Diego, so we like get together once a month at a Starbucks, like powwow, and I had to break the news to her that I'm not going to be here in June. Like I'm leaving and moving, and she was like,
"You're moving?
Where are you going?
Florida."
Oh yeah, you messaged me, right?
Yeah.
I totally forgot. I swear this pregnancy brain is no joke. Like everything's in and out.
It's
gone.
a real thing.
Yeah.
Oh my
Mom
God.
brain's worse though. Mom brain is way worse. So just be happy with the memory you have now.
I need like ginkgo biloba and I don't know, like memory. I need, what is that, brain games, like to like build my,
Uh-huh.
I can't even remember words. This is how bad it is.
You can always do those like brain gym activities. Have you ever heard of them?
Yes,
like-
actually, I had my parents doing them because there was like an app, and I'm like, you need to do these. So you're not.
There's like exercises, and it's like cross your midline, do like this. And
Oh my gosh! I need to do that.
We do it like with our students because it like preps you to learn better. So like we're like, okay, everybody stand up, do this, cross your arms, and like bring them here because like this motion like apparently wakes you up or something. I don't know. It's like crossing midline.
Do it. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. When are you moving? Are you coming to Clearwater?
So I am going to be in New York for the summer, and so I'm leaving pretty much the last day of school, and I haven't told work yet, but I'm leaving the last day of school, driving to New York with all my fur babies, which is going to be like a task in itself. And then after the summer, I'm moving down to Florida, and I'm going to look for houses in St. Pete and like that area, and then like kind of in the interim stay with my parents in Fort Myers until I can find a house. But my plan is I'm putting this house on the market in May and gonna buy something in Florida and have no mortgage and call it a day and coach the rest of the time.
You probably are gonna feel so rich when you come here. Like I've lived in California and it's no joke out there. It's crazy. But
Yeah.
St. Pete's really cool. Fort Myers is a little bit far to manage, I'm sure, but
Yeah.
St. Pete's cool because it's more up and coming hipster. So there's like a Trader Joe's, there's like Fresh Kitchen, so many places to eat down there that are actually like healthy, gluten-free. Feel like it.
Yeah. Fort Myers is just the interim because I don't have to pay rent to live with my parents until I can find a house.
Yeah, that's great. Yay! And you can chill. I mean, I don't go to the beach as often as you would think because I live literally like 15 minutes away, but still, it's the thought.
Well, that's the thing with San Diego too. I'm not like a big beach person. I'm a boat person, and like Florida is like boat versus beach, and I'm like I'm in the wrong area.
Oh my gosh, boat city down here.
Yeah.
Crazy. But anyway, so does Kayla or Teresa, do you ladies have anything to add or anything you want to talk about? You've been quiet. Just taking it all in. I still don't know who's on the phone, so whoever that is, hopefully they have been enjoying.
It's Angela.
Angela.
She typed in.
Hey, Katie.
Oh, Angela.
Can
I
you-
didn't see- Yay. Hi, Angela.
Sorry, I'm putting my kids to sleep, so I just figured I'd listen
Oh. Is there anything you want to bring up or questions, comments, or ideas that you wanted to share?
in. No, I'm just taking it all in, enjoying the call.
Yay, good. Well, I'm glad that we started doing these calls because I think above all else, it's just like the connection and brainstorming kind of, like accountability, keeping us on our toes and making sure that we're doing what we need to raise the bar.
Well, question.
Julie, was there anything else you wanted to go over?
Well, I actually have a question for Jenna. your team has such a way of getting people on board and involved and excited. Like Jen Brigham had you guys like pumped and, you know, motivated. And I keep asking Jaylene, I'm like, put me in that group. I want to see what they're saying to everybody. And she won't. I don't know why. I'm just going to assume that she's forgetting, but.
Well, I can tell you why. It's because that group doesn't do anything. So
not anymore.
Jen isn't coaching, and
Oh, she's not?
no, she's just discount right now. And I've talked to her about it. She was like, I'm not taking on new customers. I'm just like helping those that I've already helped. And
What's the reason?
you know, I don't know. I think it's a lot of reasons, to be honest. I don't think it's just one. I think it's a lot of things. Like she's doing CrossFit now instead of Beachbody, and she's like, I'm trying to do both. And I was like, oh, well, how's that working? And she's like, it's not.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
So like do CrossFit for her own personal fitness, or do CrossFit as like training people?
No, as like her own personal fitness.
Her husband does CrossFit.
I see.
Mm-hmm. So when I signed up, the whole reason I got signed up was because Jen had given me a free Shakeology packet. And that's all I wanted, like from anybody. And like I had talked to another person, she asked me for like a legit 3 years to like do a challenge pack and do a challenge group with her. And I was like, I just want to try one packet of Shakeology and I will pay for it. I'm not doing the whole month. Like, just give me one. Well, Jen gave me one and she made me one too. So I ended up getting like 2 equivalent. And so I signed up with her and I was like ordering it. And I was like, if I sign up as a coach, is it worth it if all I ever do is get a discount? And so Jen and I never had a getting started right call. We never had any training. Like it was literally when I decided I was going to coach, Jaylene and I teamed up together because Jaylene decided to coach around the same time I did, or like give it a go. And so we just did a group together and then we kind of split apart and like didn't do another group together, I don't think, after that. And I kind of faded out because I was like, I'm not so sure about this. And so to be honest, like it was more me and like my personality being the Sapphire Ruby type personality that I am, like where I went online and I went into the Coach Online office. I was Googling, I started plugging into things, and that's where that momentum has come from for me. And I don't want to speak on behalf of Jaylene, but I think she had a similar experience. So even though Jaylene and I are on the same team, I think she and I have built our teams to have that momentum by just being willing to go and learn, because we didn't have somebody to say, this is what happens. Like, we didn't have a coach training. We didn't have a getting started, right? We didn't have those things. So it was kind of like when we decided to make a go out of it, or at least when I decided to make a go out of it, I felt like I was, you know, looking into it and doing it. Not that she didn't do anything by any means, like that's not what I'm saying, but I felt like it really, like I was taking responsibility for it, not having somebody, you know, whatever. And anytime I asked a question, anytime I asked her a question, I got brushed off anyway. So I was like, okay, fine, I'm just gonna do this myself.
Well, that was Ashley. She'd always be like, I had to check FAQ for everything, so do you. And I'm like, but you already checked FAQ.
Oh my God. You guys, I just had a huge epiphany because pretty much everybody on this call is a maker of their own destiny. Like all of you guys, I mean, hopefully Angela doesn't feel that way. But you know, like Kayla, you really don't have, you're kind of like, I'm kind of your upline through Renee.
I'm your adopted coach, I guess.
Yeah. So it is like so funny because sometimes, you know, when it's like, well, how do you get your coaches to do anything? It's like, we can't really get somebody, you can't make them do something. It just has to come from them. And it just goes to show that even if somebody is like sign you up and see ya kind of coach, like the right people who find the business are still going to have success. And that is just crazy amazing to me.
My problem is I can't get people that want to work this to save my life. Like, or they say they're going to do something and then they just disappear. And you're like,
What do
just
you?
we talked, you were so into it, and then you're gone. And I'm like,
I think I have the same problem, and I think that goes back to like helping them find their vision, you know, where they want to take it, what they want to do. And then also, I really need to like hone in on who I'm attracting by what I'm posting.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if I'm posting, I had people excited to join because they saw the diamond retreat that I went on. You know, people that like trips and things like that. And so I need to really like focus in on their vision with that and show them how to get these trips earned. And
yeah, I'm focusing right now on like, I'm into the fitness part. So I'm focusing on that and like the busy mom kind of sliding in there, because I have 3 kids. I watch a baby 4 days a week or 3 days a week. I work weekends. So like, it's like just trying to show people that if I can do this, then you can too. Like, so that's where I'm focusing right now.
on the fitness part. So when your coaches sign, they're just focused on the fitness part too? Are they focused on the business?
Most of my coaches are discount.
Because they're just focused on working on themselves?
Yeah.
Right.
So
Well, I mean,
I
that's,
have, like,
if you think about it, that's kind of what you're attracting though. You know?
yeah, no, I don't know how to get the other side because I don't post too much about the business. I'm trying to. I'm working on that. I have to get out of my head that like I haven't done anything great because I am helping my family. So like even if I'm making a small amount, it's still like we went to California for 7 days on my dime. Like,
Wow,
you
that's
know,
amazing.
You need to like post about that.
well, I did in like bits, but I try not to post, you know, like how we came back. My husband doesn't get paid vacation. So like I paid for all of it. Like I paid like our spending money, stuff like that. So just trying to like get in that more. I'm trying.
Do you, as you're like saying it out loud, are you kind of realizing like, oh my gosh, you've done the hard part. Now the easy part is the sharing part. Like,
Yeah.
What's the worst? Like what is you said you have to get out of your head. What is the thought going through your head of
Okay, so my husband hates Facebook. Despises it. And his mother is on it and his family. So anytime I post, it gets back to him. And it starts like a giant fight. And it's just not like, he likes like the money I make, but he doesn't want me to share certain things. So I just,
Too personal.
How does it start a fight with the family? Is it like a jealousy thing or why?
it's like oh, Kayla, I saw this. And he'd be like, why did you post that? Why would you put that on Facebook? That's no one's business. Like while we were in California, I wasn't allowed to tell, I was off for the whole week. I did not post once.
My husband's kind of the same way. It's like, don't let people know that we're away from the house because they're going to break in and steal all the.
Yeah, I'm like, we don't have anything to steal.
Anything, you
We
know?
don't want our duck. I don't know. I'm confused.
My husband's the same way, but does any of his family have Instagram?
No. I'm trying to build that up. I haven't figured that out much. I get like a bunch of 12-year-olds. It's not.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think you're young.
That's just practicing though. That's just like trial and error. So
yeah. So I'm working on it. I'm working out on how to post things like.
But okay, back to Facebook though. I mean, can you hide where it's like you can make your post? Excuse me, where you actually type in mother-in-law can't see it, or like you can actually hide it from certain people.
Yeah, I know. I should do that. I've been posting more like on my
family list
and trying to do it.
Yeah.
Build that up. Like, because my like page, I feel more comfortable because it's not like, not everybody that's on my personal page is on my like page.
Right.
So I've been working on that, like growing that aspect to get like a cold market and completely out of my warm market. Because I never had a family, like none of my family members will even try Shakeology. It's like,
yeah, I'm the same. I mean, I had to build completely cold market. And so when people say they're afraid of that, I'm like, I'm way more excited to work in my cold market where there's no
I would rather work with people I don't know, to be honest.
Yeah.
So,
It's a lot more fun.
yeah, you meet new people. Like my mom, I tried to get her to buy the new challenge pack because she wants to lose weight, and she has for 4 years, but she'd rather do like liposuction. I'm like, I will kill you. I do that. Like, I actually help people lose weight, and she just won't.
Well, that's, you always hear about like successful lawyer, psychiatrist, power couple has a baby, and then their kid is like the worst kid, or like the pastor's daughter is like the worst, because nobody wants to listen to family. So I can definitely, I mean, my mom's still significantly overweight, and I'm like, I have the tools to help you. Just let me. But
I'm like, Mom, you could try this. She's like, no, I don't want to drink a shake. And then she'll be like, oh, I found the shake at Walmart. I'm like, I am going to stab you. Like, seriously, I will stab you. Like, Mom, I'm like, did you read that? She's like, it says I'll lose weight. I'm like, oh my God.
oh my.
So I think the thing you have to remember with like parents though is that a lot of them aren't comfortable coming to you for that advice. So my one coach that's like super close to Diamond right now and only needs like one more coach and she's Diamond. Her mom came to me and that's what set her off, because she like had this realization that like her mom had just come to me and she was like, I have like, why am I not doing this? Like I could do this, you know? And so her mom came to me and it really came down to like, she was like, Miley's journey has been super inspiring to me and your journey has been super inspiring to me. Like I've been following you this whole time, but I'm not comfortable sharing that piece of me with her. And so what I actually said to my mom, and I told Miley this, I was like, cause I got your mom, I'll give you my mom whenever she like gets set up, you know, like I'll trade you. Cause like, I think for my parents, that's a big part of it. Like my mom will tell me like, oh, I'm so happy. Like you found something that works. I need to do something, but then she won't do anything, you know? And my dad will say the same thing. They both have high blood pressure. And I'm like, hey, remember when I had higher blood pressure than you? And now I don't remember that, like, you know, but they won't do it. And I think that that's part of it for my parents, at least. So, you know, I think like, there's something too, like when your child is like, hey, I have this solution and it's already, you know, fitness is kind of a touchy subject. Like a lot of people don't like to talk about it, you know? And I watch my mom tell her mom to get in shape and I'm like, this is a little hypocritical, you know? Like she'll sit there and she'll be like, she's so stuck in her ways. All she'll do is eat Friendlies every night, you know, like she doesn't want to cook. So she orders out all the time. Like she needs to get in better shape. And I'm like, really? Pot, kettle, black, hey? You know, like, but I think it's something with like kids telling their parents, it's just a thing. So, you know, you just got to be consistent. Like this is what I'm doing, but also know that I don't feel like I don't have the utmost confidence my parents are signing up. You know what I mean?
I think sometimes, like as far as our parents go, I mean, they're older and I think maybe we make it look like it would be too hard for them. Like we're posting videos of us jumping around doing these crazy exercises. They're like, oh, well, that's how she did it. And I can't, I'm just not ever going to go that route. You know, like my parents drink Shakeology, but they won't work out. And
no, I gave her the 21-day fix. Like I handed it to her with the containers and she's like, I can't do this. I'm like, there's a 70-year-old woman if you watch that. Like there is in the infomercials.
My mom bought the 21-day fix and then the one time that she worked out, she just pulled out the bonus DVD, which is the BioFix.
Oh my God.
And she's just convinced now that like,
They're all like
die if she does anything else. I'm like, no, that's the worst one. Like, I promise the other ones are not like that.
Oh my gosh.
I gave my parents P90. I bought them like a subscription to On Demand for a period of time. I bought them a Fire Stick so they could do On Demand and they never did anything.
Oh my gosh. I just tell you guys a funny story about my mom. First of all, she's in Lindsay Matway's challenge group right now, which is so funny that you said that your coach's mom is working with you. But anyway, back in the day, like when I first started, she was, I gave her Turbo Fire. And my mom's kind of like likes that more dancey, kind of spastic, you know, whatever, workout. So anyway, I was talking to her about it and she's like, yeah, I just can't get past that first DVD. And I was like, what do you mean? I was like, you just do the best you can. And then just each time you get better and better. And turns out she thought that you had to master the first DVD before you can move. No, it's just
Some people just won't like read the instructions. Like
my mom is like not read the instructions at
I
all.
remember having challengers going, the workout today was great. It was 10-minute ab fix, and they were just like going in order what was on the that's extra. Like you don't have to do that, and that's definitely not your workout for today.
Oh my god.
It's like that's what's next.
I remember
their-
one of
if I
them was
knew
like,
then
wait,
what
I
I
have to
know
have
now."
4 proteins for breakfast. I'm like, no, for the day.
The stories is too funny. Oh my goodness. Whew. All right, well, I am going to pass out, so I'll leave you ladies to it if you want to stay on and chat. It was fun
Hey,
talking.
Katie.
Good
Bye,
night.
Katie.
Bye, Katie. All right.
Lisa, what's up? Sorry, my kids are home.
Why did you get that table?
I got this table, babe, but you need to shut the door, okay? Close this.
So,
Uh,
how did you guys find your business builders? Like,
My
They-
two business. Sorry, go ahead, Julie.
I mean, mine come and go. Like, I just had a really awesome business builder quit like 3 days ago. She earned Success Starter. Like, she was just in it to win it from the beginning. She was motivated by money. She got a new job that she just loves, and she's like, I'm happy. You know, it's just too much energy for me to do coaching with Beachbody. It's nothing that you did. It's just, I'm just really happy with what I have going on. So it sucks, but I just think you have to continue to constantly recruit them because they're gonna come and go. You know, like I don't always constantly have business builders. And then even the ones that have been there, they're not consistent. They fade in and out. And I think that just means we have to always be building and always bringing more people on.
I had such a rough last year with being sick that I let everything drop, and I'm just like coming back and I'm kicking myself. I'm like, okay, so now I have to finally, I'm just gonna go for it, and I'm trying to just put my blinders on and just go. And I'm like, what the hell am I doing? Like, I don't even know what to do with the coach half the time when I get them because I didn't have a sponsor. Mine quit like right after I signed up, so I got reassigned to someone else that doesn't do anything. So
Who did you get assigned to?
Renee Davis. So you probably
yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, she's one of Katie's coaches that just does the discount.
Okay.
So
So everyone here, Katie is not their direct upline.
mm-mm.
Lisa, who's yours?
Mine is actually, her name is Amy Gildersleeve.
And
She stopped like probably a month after I signed up.
okay.
So, and she, I mean, I was in a challenge group with her for 1 month and then that was it. Like I mean, some of it's my fault because I'm not one of those personalities that's going to jump right in and, you know, like seek all the information and I'm just going to go for this. Like, that's not me. I like someone to kind of guide me at first a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So at first I was kind of just like going with the flow because I didn't really understand everything and I didn't have all that. And now I'm kicking myself because I wish I would have just jumped in and just started doing things. But, you know, I'm grateful for what I've learned along the way. And, you know, I mean, it is what it is. You know, I'm a busy mom. I work full time. You know, I've got 3 kids, and like right now I'm going through my own personal struggle. So I kind of just accept that, you know, sometimes people are like, she got busy. She actually took a job, which she didn't have a job when she started. So then I'm like, well, you know, everybody has their struggles, and, you know, I guess this is just how it is. You know, she's not going to be there for me. So I've just accepted that, you know, and I'm going through my own struggles, but I still try to be there for my coaches. I'm still trying to help them and motivate them. And, you know, they know of my situation that I have going on, but I still am doing like Power of 6, and every week I'm showing them I take a picture of it and I show it to them, you know, because they're like, well, I'm busy and I'm this and I'm that. And I'm like, I'm a single mom. I'm working full time. I got 3 kids, you know, I'm struggling financially. You know, I've got a lot of things going on too, but I want you to see that if I can do it, so can you.
We're all busy. I mean, everyone's busy.
And I'm trying to show them, but I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and what I was going to say too, Kayla, is that I just show up, like Julie said, every single day, and I show them what I'm doing, and I'm like really open and I'm really honest, and just show them every single day, this is what I'm doing. And like when I hit Success Club, I share it. When I'm at 0, I share it. You know, I'm like, day 1 of the month, I'm at 0, just like you. I'm in the trenches, just like you. I'm sending these invites, just like you guys are.
Mine aren't really, like, even my one working coach, she's all stressed out. So she hasn't had Success Club points in months. And I'm like trying to reach out to her, but then when I do, I just get bombarded with all this bullshit that I don't really want to deal with. Like, I didn't ask you I didn't ask you about that. I'm like, oh, like it's like 3 paragraphs this long, and I'm like,
I also do like one-on-one weekly calls with my like leaders on my team. So my 2 emeralds, we just have like mastermind sessions for like 15 minutes every week. And if they cancel on me, I'm like, that's fine. That's your choice. That's your business. I'm here. I'm available. This is our time, you know, whatever. And we move on. And that's it. And so
I like that.
That's
just
a good
15
idea.
minutes. It's short. It's sweet. It's just a touch base and
yeah, because originally they thought it was only when they had a problem. I'm like, no, these are like when you're doing good. Let's just touch base. Let's chat and like continue that momentum.
What's worked.
Yeah. So it's like super short, 15 minutes and like done. And it's also their time that I'm like, if you've got a question, this is when you ask me, you know, like you have 15 minutes.
Right.
So that's really helped with them. And they've seen like a direct correlation. Like one took, like you said, like stopped hitting Success Club and like stopped getting any points on the board and stopped doing anything. And we hadn't talked for over a month and a half. And I'm like, that was your choice. But the thing is, you have to run with the runners, you have to walk with the walkers, and you have to dance with the people that stop in the middle of the marathon and dance, because that's where they're at. Yeah. So when they're running, I'm running. When they're walking, I'm right next to them. When they start dancing, I'm the one putting on the music and dancing with them, because I want them to know that no matter where they are in this journey, no matter what they're doing, I'm there for them. But then I'm continuing to go out there and like post on social media regularly and like plant those seeds and have the conversations, make the connections so that people are asking me, how do I get on your team? You know? So the number of invites I've sent out is pretty few, to be honest, because I'm looking for a specific person to be on my team now. Whereas before it was like adding discount and just having numbers. And now it's like,
I am now,
it's right to be on the team.
How I am now is I'm looking for people that are like me. I want I want someone that I can relate to. So when they're talking to me, I'm like, okay, this is what I do, because let's face it, like life's hectic. It's crazy.
Right. You need to get really nichey with your niche though, because I mean, you're a busy mom. I'm a busy mom. Lisa's a busy mom. There's a lot of busy moms. You know, like what makes you different
Yeah.
than the other busy moms that are working out and eating healthy. That can be done, and you can show them that that can be done. But like you said, that's what you're attracting. You're attracting people that just want to do that and get healthy. So you should be posting that you paid for this. You were able, your husband doesn't get, I mean, I know that my husband's the same way. He does not like personal information out there. And so I try, it's a delicate
It's
balance.
very a hard balance. He likes the paycheck that comes in when I'm like, I made blah, 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 which sometimes it's not a lot. So, but even like this week, I made $70. That $70 helped us because we could have been broke. So it's like,
I always remember Katie talking about when she signed up Nikki Minton, because Katie said that she made $50 one week. And she was like, sign me up. I want an extra $50 a week. So you don't know, you know, you could be like, oh, this is completely insignificant, but that could be all anybody wants, you know? They could just want to get their nails done. So, and so, I mean, I post about that. I'm like, my day off is Thursdays, which happens to be payday. So I always like, I'm like, it's treat yourself day because it's Beachbody payday, you know, and I don't say how much I made. I just share like something that I did for myself that day.
yeah, I'll think of something like that. Like I'm going out with my sister-in-law this weekend, maybe saying about how what I made is banking my night out, because let's face it, every mom needs a night out.
Yes. See, and okay, you like nights out. That's all. Getting niche with who you're attracting. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, mama needs a night out. That's what it is.
And you're a stay-at-home mom?
Yes. I stayed home. I watch a toddler 3 days a week, and then I waitress on Fridays just to get out of the house because I
Okay.
need to, like,
Right. So this could kind of be part of it too. Like, this is your way to connect with people because you're around kids all the time. You know, that's something you could share about, like, the friendships you made and you know, the connections you have. Paying for a mom's night out because you got to get away from the children. I mean, not that you want to talk bad about your kids all the time, but I
no, but every mom gets it.
Yeah.
Exactly, they do.
Yeah.
That's a lot of ideas for you, really, because I know when I was a stay-at-home mom and I actually ran a daycare, I felt like I didn't have that interaction with people, and I kind of felt like I was lost, just stuck in this house all day long.
I did a post on that not too long ago. I did, about like, I don't remember the wording. I'm so freaking tired today. I don't remember the wording, but I did do a post about the interaction.
But you know, you could even like take a screenshot of this. Like, so happy I got to hop on with some girlfriends that are on all different parts of the country. Wouldn't have met them or had these connections without Beachbody. You don't have to make it sound so generic like that. But you know what I mean? Like, I mean, that's a lot of people. And if you're wanting to attract people like you, those are people who are home with children and want adult interaction. So that could be really attractive to them, you know?
Yeah, another problem that I find with the people like me is they're stay-at-home moms, so the extra money, they really have to want it. Yes.
Sometimes it's about feeling like you've contributed. You could talk about how sometimes it feels like, you know, you don't want to ask your husband when you want to go get this done. You want to have your money. You know that your job is super important. You know, being a mom is like the greatest job ever, but it doesn't pay. And, you know, you like having the freedom to do what you want. You don't have to ask for anything. It's yours. It's all yours.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Thanks. Sometimes it's just nice to get ideas. Like, I'm like, because you rack your brain sometimes for hours where I'm like, I don't even know what to post about anymore.
I do the same thing.
Where I'm like, sometimes when I just get on a call, I'm like, okay, now we might not even talk about anything specifically, where I'm like, okay, I know what to do now.
Right. Fresh ears, fresh ideas, because I mean, I could give each other, anybody else ideas, like, all day long. And then I'm like, I don't know what to post about today. I don't know how I'm going to attract people, you know, but an outside perspective is always nice. So, yay, I'm glad you've got some ideas.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm glad I could hop on tonight. The 5 o'clock call last week that's not a good time for us here.
Are you on the
East
West Coast?
Coast.
Oh, you're on the East Coast.
It was 5, so it was like dinner time,
Oh, yeah.
family time, you know. Where I'm like,
I'm glad you guys got on. This was fun. I'm going to go. My kids are home from baseball practice, and they keep peeking in the door. So I'm going to.
Thank you so
well,
much.
good talking to you. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.